Dear students and mathematics lovers, please welcome to the YouTube channel Mathematics Students Helper. Our present video is about series in real number. This is actually part 6. Here I discuss D'Alembert's ratio test. It is very important test for convergence of series of positive terms. I give here some examples also. In previous video, that is in part 5, I discussed comparison test in limit form with some examples. Please see whole the video. I hope that you will understand my video. If you understand my video, then please like it and share it with your friends. If the channel is still not subscribed, please subscribe it to get more updates. Let's go in the main topics. D'Alembert ratio test. At first I give the state of the test. Let xn be a series of positive terms and limit xn by xn plus 1 is equal to L. Okay. You see that here x is a series of positive terms, that means every term of the series are positive. So xn upon xn plus 1 must be a positive quantity. As a result, limit of xn upon xn plus 1 must be greater than or equal to 0. Here this is L. So here L is either 0 or is greater than 0. The ratio test states that then the series xn is convergent if L is greater than 1 and divergent if L is less than 1. Before proving the theorem or statement, I give some concept about the theorem. Just imagine here limit exists, that is here suppose the series is convergent. That means if you add infinite number of terms, you get a finite result. It happens only the terms in the series in the last are very small. That is, the next term is smaller than the previous term. That is, xn is xn is greater than xn plus 1. That is when you approach towards the right side, that is xn and then xn plus 1. So right side the terms must be smaller than previous term. That is, xn must be greater than xn plus 1 for the convergence of the series. As a result, xn by xn plus 1 must be greater than 1. Since xn is greater than xn plus 1, as a result xn upon xn plus 1 is greater than 1 for convergent series. As a result, the xn by xn plus 1 is greater than 1, that means limit may be greater than or equal to 1. So here it is convergent if L is greater than 1. Actually there are exact not logic, this is not exact logic, but I give some concepts. Okay. And similarly for divergence case, when you don't get the final result as because the terms in the right hand side must be greater than to the previous term, that is xn plus 1 must be greater than xn. As a result, xn by xn plus 1 is less than 1. Okay. So this is the tricks you can remember this result by this approach. However, let's go in the proof. Given that xn be a series of positive terms and limit xn upon xn plus 1 is equal to L. In case 1, we consider L is greater than 1. Suppose this is 1. Since L is greater than 1, so in real line L will be right side of 1, that is there L. So there are gap between 1 and L. So you get a real number between 1 and L by density property of R. Suppose here the real number, and suppose distance between that two points is epsilon. So this length is epsilon. So value of that point must be L minus epsilon. Clearly, since L minus epsilon lies between 1 and L, so L minus epsilon is greater than 1. So here we consider a positive quantity epsilon such that L minus epsilon is greater than 1. If we consider that result, then you get the proof. Since limit xn upon xn plus 1 is equal to L for the above pre-assigned positive epsilon, there exists a natural number m such that, just use definition of limit, mod of xn upon xn plus 1 minus L must be less than epsilon for all n greater than or equal to m. If you use the definition of mod, so L minus epsilon less than xn upon xn plus 1 less than L plus epsilon for all n greater than or equal to m. Okay. You have to choose that epsilon for proving that theorem. Okay. Now I will go next portion. Now we consider left inequality, that means that portion, and here I put actually this relation holds for n greater than or equal to m. Here I put n equal to m, m minus 1, etc. Putting n equal to m, m plus 1, m and up to n minus 1 in left inequality. If you put n equal to m, then you get L minus epsilon less than xm upon xm plus 1. If you put n equal to m plus 1, then you get that less than xm plus 1 upon xm plus 2 and so on. As a result, finally xn minus 1 by xn. Okay. Combining above results, you get there are actually n minus m equalities. So L minus epsilon whole to the power n minus epsilon less than just multiplication of that factors. After simplification, you get xm plus 1 cancelled with xm plus 2, xm plus 2 is also cancelled, here xn minus will be cancelled. As a result, this is equal to xm by xn plus 1 and implies that r to the power n minus 1 less than xm by xn plus 1. Here I actually take L minus epsilon as r. Okay. Clearly L minus epsilon is greater than 1 due to our assumption. Here I write for all n greater than m, because you see that actually here xn is denominator of some factors. Here xn is the denominator of some factors. If you take minimum number of factors, that is if you take minimum one factor, that is you get simply that xm by xm plus 1. So here n is equal to m plus 1. So n here starts from m plus 1. So I write here for n greater than m. Okay. That implies that r to the power m by r to the power n less than xm upon xn for all n greater than m. Just I take here xn in left side and rn xn only in left side and the remaining portions in the right side. Inequality does not change because all the terms, all the expressions are positive, that is xn less than lambda into 1 minus r to the power n. Here lambda is a constant, here lambda is xn is here left side, so if you take right hand side r to the power n, so as a result 1 upon r to the power n and constant is xm dot r to the power m. I take here lambda equal to xm dot r to the power m is greater than 0. Okay. Here the series summation 1 by r to the power n is a geometric series with common ratio 1 by r, where 1 upon r lies between 0 1 open interval, because you see that here r is strictly greater than 1, as a result 1 by r is less than 1. Here also r is positive, so this is greater than 0. Okay. Just see that relation. Here this is xn and this is 1 by rn. So I consider here the series summation 1 by rn. It is a geometric series with common ratio whose magnitude is less than 1. So it is a convergent series. Therefore the series 1 by r to the power n is convergent series. Now if you use comparison test and that relation, you know that comparison test when the larger series is convergent, then smaller series is convergent. So hence here summation 1 by r to the power n is a convergent series. As a result, summation xn is a convergent series. Hence by comparison test, summation the series summation xn, that is the given series, is convergent. So when L is greater than 1, the series xn is convergent. Okay. Now I discuss the case when L is strictly less than 1. By similar process, we have to choose epsilon in such a way that here actually L is less than 1, so there are gap between L and 1. So by density property, there exists an element between L and 1. Since the element is larger than epsilon, so this will be L plus something. We choose the something as epsilon, where epsilon is positive quantity. So L plus epsilon is larger than L plus 1, and it must be less than 1. As a result, L plus epsilon must be less than 1. Let epsilon greater than 0 such that L plus epsilon is less than 1. Actually, there are also another tricks. You can add or subtract epsilon from L. Okay. If you subtract epsilon from L, then L minus also is obviously less than 1. If you take L minus epsilon for that case, then L minus epsilon is obviously less than 1. So in that case, you have not assumed L minus epsilon less than 1. The but when you add epsilon, then L plus epsilon may or may not less than 1. So for that purpose we have to choose epsilon maintaining the same sign, that is maintaining the same inequality, that is maintaining less than. So here I take L plus epsilon for less than epsilon, less than 1. So for that epsilon, by using the definition of limit, we get there exists a natural number say k such that mod of xn upon xn plus 1 minus L is less than epsilon for all n greater than or equal to k. After simplification this will be that. Okay. Now here we consider the right inequality, that is xn upon xn plus 1 is strictly less than epsilon for all n greater than or equal to k, and here I put n equal to k plus 1 up to n minus 1 in right inequality. Okay. So when you put n equal to k, so this will be xk upon xk plus 1 is less than L plus epsilon, and if you put n equal to k plus 1 here, so this will be xk plus 1 upon xk plus 2 is less than L plus epsilon, and dot dot xn minus 1 upon xn is less than L plus epsilon. Combining above results, you get xk upon xk plus 1, xk plus upon xk plus 2 plus dot dot xn minus 1 upon xn is less than L plus epsilon whole to the power n minus k, because there are n minus k relations. Okay. Here I take L plus epsilon some constant, here is take mu. Anyway, after simplification that result, this will be xk upon xn. So this is less than p to the power minus k, where p is L plus epsilon. Here I actually take L plus epsilon as p. Clearly p is less than 1 due to our assumption of epsilon. Here I also take n is strictly greater than k, because here n is what is the n? Actually xn is denominator of some factor. So if you take minimum one factor, so n will be k plus 1. So here n starts from k plus 1. As a result, I write here n is greater than k. Okay. Now I write xn in right hand side and remaining in left hand side. Inequality does not change because all the factors are positive. Here is less than p to the power n by p to the power k for all n greater than k. As a result, if you take p to the power n in left side, this will be 1 upon p to the power n, and constant I take constant in right side, that is constant will be 1 by xk dot pk into xn. Okay. 1 upon p to the power n is less than mu xn for all n greater than k. Here mu is actually 1 by xk dot p to the power k, it is positive quantity. Okay. Now here I use comparison test. For that purpose I have to know the nature of the series 1 by p to the power n. Here the series 1 by p to the power n is a geometric series with common ratio 1 by p. Okay. Since here is p is less than 1, so 1 upon p must be greater than p, common ratio 1 by p, where 1 by p is greater than 1, and therefore the series 1 by p to the power n is divergent series. Okay. So if you look upon on that relation, and if you use comparison test, so you see that the smaller series is divergent, as a result the larger series must be divergent. So summation xn must be a divergent series. Thus when L is less than 1, thus if L is less than 1, the series is divergent series. I hope that you understand D'Alembert's ratio test, the proof of the theorem. Okay. There are also another form of D'Alembert ratio test. At first I give the state of D'Alembert ratio test that states that if xn be a series of positive terms and limit xn upon xn plus 1 is equal to L, then if L is greater than 1, then the series is convergent. X is convergent if L is greater than 1 and divergent if L is less than 1. I give the ticks, when series convergent, then xn plus 1 is smaller than xn. As a result, xn upon xn plus 1 is greater than 1. As a result, it is convergent for L is greater than 1. However, in some books there are another form of the D'Alembert test. I write down here another form of D'Alembert's test, D'Alembert ratio test. Let summation xn be a series of positive terms and limit xn plus upon xn is L. Okay, just reciprocal of that relation. So here it is convergent when L is greater than 1. So in that case it is convergent if L is less than 1, and here it is divergent because L is greater than 1. Thus there are also same tricks. For convergence case, terms in the right hand side must be smaller, that is xn is greater than xn plus 1. As a result, xn plus upon xn is less than 1 because xn plus 1 is smaller than xn. So for convergence, since xn plus 1 upon xn is less than 1, the limit must be less than 1. Just I repeat that this is my concept, it may be wrong. Just if you see it is wrong, then please comment. The series xn is convergent if L is less than 1 and is divergent if L is greater than 1. Okay, you can remember both the both the form of the test, or you can get the tricks which I said. Okay. Now, but in D'Alembert's ratio test, when L is 1, there is no conclusion can be made about the convergence. That is, when L is 1, the conclusion fails to determine the nature of the series. Just I give the justification. For justification, here I consider two series. In one series, I will show that it is convergent but limit is 1. Again, in another example, I will show that it is divergent but limit is 1. So when L is 1, you cannot conclude about the nature of the series. Let us consider the series summation xn equal to summation 1 upon n. Clearly, it is a divergent series because it is a p series with p equal to 1. As a result, summation 1 by n, that is summation xn, is a divergent series. Okay. But here if you calculate here limit xn upon xn plus 1, this is equal to 1 upon n upon 1 upon n plus 1. As a result, limit of n plus 1 by n. As a result, limit of 1 plus 1 upon n. As a result, 1. Okay. So here we see that here series is divergent but limit xn upon xn plus 1 is 1. Now I give another example. Let us consider another series summation xn is equal to 1 upon n cube. Clearly, summation 1 upon n cube is a p series with p equal to 3, which is greater than 1. You know that when the p series is convergent only for p greater than 1. So here the series summation xn is a convergent series. But if you calculate limit xn upon xn plus 1, then this is 1 by n cube divided by 1 by n plus 1 whole cube. As a result, this is equal to n plus 1 whole cube by n cube. As a result, 1 plus 1 by n whole cube. As a result, 1. So here the limit is 1. So in first example, you see the limit is 1 but series is divergent, but here limit is 1, series is convergent. So if L equal to 1, then the series may or may not convergent. So you cannot conclude in D'Alembert's test for the L equal to 1. You have to check the nature of the series by using another test, suppose logarithm test, Ravi's test. There are many tests which will be discussed in next videos. Now I give some examples by using D'Alembert's ratio test. Test the convergence of the series. This is also discussed in previous some video by using comparison test or comparison test in limit for. Here I actually I discuss the nature of the series by using D'Alembert's ratio test. The given series be xn, suppose. So here xn is 2 to the power n plus 1 upon 3 to the power n plus 1 for all n belongs to natural number. Clearly xn is strictly greater than 0. That is, the series is a series of positive terms. Now we have to calculate limit xn upon xn plus 1. Here xn is 2 to the power n upon 3 to the power n plus 1. Just xn plus 1 will be, just you have to put here n plus 1 in the place of n. So here 2 to the power n plus 1 divided by 3 to the power n plus 1 plus 1. Okay. This is equal to 2 to the power n 3 to the power n into 3 to the power n plus 1 by 2 to the n plus 1. Just simplification, that by that means that into its reciprocal. Now here I take 2 to the power n plus 1 by 2 to the power n plus 1 dot 3 to the power n plus 1 divided by 3 to the power n plus 1. In first factor I divide 2 to the power n in numerator and denominator. So this will be here 1 plus 1 by 2 to the power n, here 2 plus 1 by 2 to the power n. Okay, if you divide 2 to the power n numerator as well as denominator, this will be 1 plus 1 by 2 to the power n, and this will be 2 plus 1 by 2 to the power n, and here I divide 3 to the power n in both numerator and denominator. So in numerator this will be 3 plus 1 upon 3 to the power n divided by 1 plus 3 to the power 1 by 3 to the power n. As a result, this will be here 1 by 2 dot 3 by 1 by 2 dot 3 by 1. Actually there are mistake, I print here, type here 2, but this will be 1. As a result, half into 3 by 1, that means 3 by 2. Clearly it is greater than 1. So xn upon xn plus 1 is greater than 1, that means xn is greater than xn plus 1. It is my concept. You can remember direct test and use the result. So since here xn upon xn plus 1 is greater than 1, so by D'Alembert test the series is convergent. D'Alembert ratio test, the given series is convergent. That is, the series summation 2 to the power n plus 1 upon 3 to the power n plus 1 is a convergent series. Okay. So here I discuss the nature of the series. Now I give another example. Test the convergence of the series. That this is popular popular problem which is discussed in previous 2 videos using comparison test in general form in as well as comparison test in limit form. Here I actually also state the nature by D'Alembert ratio test. Solution: the given series is summation xn. Xn is that, clearly xn is greater than 0. You know that this is a convergent series because its limit is less than 1 finite, actually discussed in the examples of water bottle also. Sorry, I discussed this is in comparison test. Okay. However, here limit xn upon xn plus will be calculated. Here xn is that, just xn plus 1 will be, just you have to put n plus 1 in the place of n. So you see that here xn is that, so xn plus 1 will be n plus 1, n plus 1 plus 1, n plus 1 plus 2, n plus 1, n plus 1 plus 1, n plus 1 plus 2. As a result, this will be n plus 1, n plus 2, n plus 3. I write it in numerator and here in n plus 1 in denominator. After simplification, this will be limit n plus 3 by n, as a result limit 1 plus 3 by n, as a result 1. So here limit is 1. So D'Alembert test ratio test fails to conclude the nature of the series. You have to test that series by using another test which will be discussed in next video. It may be in logarithm test or Rabbit test. There are many tests. Gaussian test also there. This is very important test. However, no conclusion can be made about the convergence of the given series by using D'Alembert's ratio test. Okay. So here D'Alembert ratio test fails to determine the nature of the series. You have to further calculate by using another test which will be discussed in next some video. Here I also give another example. Test the convergence of the series 1 plus half x plus 1 by 1.3 2.4 x square 1.3.5 2.4.6 x cube plus dot. Here x is positive quantity. Let us go in the solution. Neglecting the first term, let the given series be summation xn. Actually here I neglect first term, just remove 1 from the series. You can get 1 also, then the general term will be changed, but here I neglect the first term. If you neglect first terms or first k terms, so there are no effect on the convergence of the series. You know that this was proved in part 1 or part 2, maybe you can see that video. However, if you remove first term, so this will be first term, this is second term, this is third term. Just imagine the series starts from half x plus 1.3 by 2.4 x square plus dot dot. Okay. So nature of the series does not change. That means if it is convergent, suppose its value 100, total value of the series is 100. If you neglect 1, so the value will be 100 minus 1, that is 99. If it is divergent series, so if you discard 1 from the series, this is no effect from the on the series, that is this remains divergent. Okay. So here I can neglect first term. So I here neglect first term. However, after neglecting, here the resulting series, this is first term, this is second term, this is third term, and so on. just in every term x, x square, x cube. So if first term contains x, second term contains x square, third term contains x cube, so fourth term must contain x to the 4, nth term must contain x to the power n. Okay. And next, here numerator starts from 1 and product of odd integers. A denominator starts from 2 and product of even factors, even integers. It starts from 3 and ends with 6. It starts from 2, ends with 4. Just see on the end factor, this is here 4, this it is double to 2, this is 6, it is double of 3. Okay. So if there are x to the power 4, then this will be 8. If this is x to the power 5, so this will be 10. So here odd term starting from 1 and ends before numerator starts from 1 and ends before 6. That is, here actually you see that in nth term this will be 2n, 2 4 6 dot 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 2n for nth term, and there will be 1 dot 3 dot 5 and ending before 6, that is before our last factor was 2n, so this will be 2n minus 1. Here I write down the general term xn equal to 1 dot 3 dot 2n minus 1 by 2 4 dot dot 2 to the power n in x to the power n. Okay. At first you have to take general term, again I repeat, in every term first term this is 1, second term x square, third term x cube, as a result nth term xn, and numerator contains 1 dot 3 dot 5 dot dot and ends with before 6. That means here since this is nth term xn, so denominator ends with 2n, so numerator ends with 2n minus 1, that is integer before 2n. So 1 dot 3 dot up to 2n minus 1 and denominator 2 for 2n. So here xn plus 1 will be 1 3 dot dot 2n plus 1 minus 1, that is 2n plus 1, and denominator ends with 2 into n plus 1, that is 2n plus 2. However, xn is greater than 1 for all n belongs to natural number, that is the given series is series of positive terms. You have to mention the series is positive terms because to use D'Alembert's ratio test you have to take the series of positive terms. Now limit xn upon xn plus 1 is, here xn is that, and xn plus 1, to get xn plus 1 you have to put n plus 1 in the place of n. So here 1 dot 3 dot 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 up to 2n plus 1 minus 1, here 2 4 dot 2 into n plus 1, here xn in xn this is 2n, so here 2 into n plus 1, and here xn, and here if you put n plus 1 in the place of n, then you get n plus 1. After simplification xn by xn plus 1 will be 1 by x. Now this is xn and there xn plus 1, just I simplify, this is starts 1 dot 3 dot 5 ends with 2n plus 1, here it's end with 2n plus 2. After simplification you see that 1 dot 3 dot 2n minus 1, all the factors is present in that, that is 1 dot 3 dot 5 dot 2n minus 1 and 2n plus 1. After simplification numerator of that two portion resulting will be 2n plus 1, that is 1 by 2n plus 1, and here if you calculate 2 dot 4 dot 2n and here 2 dot 4 dot 2n plus 2, here actually previous term factor of 2n plus 2 is 2n, after simplification there will be 2n plus 2, so 2n plus 2 will be in numerator. As a result this is 2n plus limit 2n plus 2 by 2n plus 1 into there xn upon xn plus 1 x to the power n plus 1 means 1 by x. If you divide this by 2n, so this will be 1 plus 1 by n and denominator 1 plus 1 by 2n dot 1 by x. As a result this is 1 by x. Okay, just calculate yourself, take your pen and exercise book, please calculate yourself. So here I get limit xn upon xn plus 1 is equal to 1 by x. Okay, so by D'Alembert test the series is convergent if 1 upon x is greater than 1, that is if x is less than 1. Okay, and is divergent if 1 upon x is less than 1, that is if x greater than 1. Okay, so when x is less than 1 the series is convergent, and when x is greater than 1 the series is divergent. But if 1 by x is equal to 1, that is if x equal to 1, no conclusion can be made about the series by D'Alembert's ratio test. Okay, so series here, the series contains x, which is positive real number. So when x is less than 1, it is convergent series. When x is greater than 1, the given series is divergent. But when x is equal to 1, you cannot conclude about the nature of the series by using D'Alembert ratio test. So you have to determine the nature of the series by using another test. We have to check the convergence of the given series for x equal to 1 for using another test. Okay, I will discuss later the case when x equal to 1 in some another video. Okay, when D'Alembert ratio fails for limit is equal to 1, so you have to check test convergence by logarithm test, Ravi's test, logarithm test, etc. There are many tests which will be discussed in next some video. However, in coming part, that is in part 7, I will discuss another important theorem test for series of convergence for convergence of series of positive terms, which is Cauchy's root test. Please see that video. Link of the video, that is link of part 7, will be in description box. Please see the description box. Anyway, thank you for watching whole the video. If you have any question, please comment or mail me. Mail ID also given in description box. Anyway, thank you again.